welcome to the It Doesn't Hold Up podcast. We review and reevaluate all things we remember fondly from our childhood and years prior to see if they still hold up. And more often than not, they probably don't. I'm Stuart Shepherd, along with my co-host and good friend Michael Smith. Smith, how are you doing?
I'm very well, thank you, Stu. And how are you?
I'm good, Smith. And you know what time it is?
What time is it?
It's morphin time.
Oh, I thought it was about 7:30.
No, it's actually 25 to 8, but that's the time of recording. Like our podcasts have no time, point of time. But
They
yeah.
are, they're untethered by the ravages of time, much
Yeah.
like my face.
Yes, quite. Cool. Right, before we get on to this episode's nomination, which came from the man himself, Smith, just want to talk
Oh,
about last episode's feedback, which was RoboCop 3. And as
mm.
always, mixed bag of stuff and hilarious at the same time of feedback. So, in no particular order, it's never been good, not even as a kid. Quite right. Probably cheated our premise on this by pretending we liked it when we were kids. Um, Great pod as always. I'm a huge fan of the original RoboCop. Mixed feelings about the second. Never bothered with the third one. It just looks too awful. Very wise. Very, very wise. Never managed to watch part three all the way through. It was so bad, even as a kid, I turned it off. And this one really popped me. This comes from Movie Lovers Unite, John DiGregorio. I bought RoboCop, the original, in 4K just so I could see someone's dick get shot off in high definition. Right?
You really want to see it tear the shaft?
You really do. Yeah, so that was all the feedback we got for RoboCop 3. Anything further you heard on this wonderful masterpiece that is RoboCop?
No, just one comment which was, "Oh, you're doing RoboCop?" Yes, RoboCop 3. Oh,
Oh. Yes, our viewership declined rapidly. Anything else further you want to say on RoboCop, or should we just move swiftly on?
this is me swiftly on.
Let's
I don't
move
want to think
swiftly
about
on
it anymore.
ever again. And on the subject of Movie Lovers Unite podcast, me and Smith were guests again on that podcast, and we were discussing I Know What You Did Last Summer and had all sorts of fun. So do check out that episode. That's on YouTube and Apple Podcasts and other places you find podcasts as well. Movies Lover Unite podcast. I Know What You Did Last Summer. And thanks you always for being a big fan of the show. Right, so this episode's nomination came from Smith himself, and it's Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the movie from 1995. Yeah. So, a brief synopsis. This is the movie adaptation set in between series two and three, and it sees the ancient evil Ivan Ooze, who is unleashed from his 6,000 years of hibernation to wreak havoc upon the town of Angels Grove. And the Power Rangers have to save the day. That's about
Yep, that's about it. That's both all the plot you're getting and not even scratching the surface of the plot you're getting. It
it.
somehow manages all at once to have so little and so much.
Yeah. And, I'm going to put my hands up, right? I wasn't the biggest fan of Power Rangers when I was a kid. Like, I caught it when it was on. I didn't necessarily turn it off. I didn't necessarily pay too much attention. And I have seen the film because when I was watching this, a couple of the scenes come back to me. It's like, oh, Jesus, I have seen this. So there you go.
I always like those moments where you sit down to watch a film and in 5 minutes and you go, "No, I've seen this,
Yeah. I wish I hadn't.
and I've blanked it out for a reason."
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so this came out in 1995. It came out in the States in June 30th, 1995. We got it 21st of July, 1995. So that was very much a summer blockbuster. So yeah, we've done 1995 a couple of times, Smith, and I've done Weekly
Mm.
World News, we've done proper news, we've done all sorts. So what are we doing for this time for scene setting?
So we are doing a quiz this time, one of my famous and much hated quizzes that do
Okay.
nothing but eat up precious airtime. And this time I've decided to go into the history of the Power Rangers and look at the most important part of the Power Rangers, their villains.
Oh, okay.
So I have a list here.
Hmm.
Half of these are Power Rangers monsters,
Yep.
and half of these are sex toys.
Oh God.
So the question quiz here is Monster Kong or Monster Dong?
Oh,
Oh,
I love this game. And the fact that I'm not the biggest fan of Power Rangers is going to make this very fun quiz, but go for it.
ain't gonna help. Right.
Yeah.
So, all right, first one. We'll start with an easy one. Pumpkin Rapper,
No, that's got to be a dong.
a sex toy.
Yeah.
No, that is a Power Rangers villain, a rapping pumpkin-headed man that threw out pumpkin lyrics and threw tiny little pumpkins at people.
Oh, when you said rapping, I thought like cellophane or something. You actually meant a.
No, yeah, no.
Yeah.
I do love the fact that you're, for the people listening, Stuart's impression of a rapper involved putting one hand to his ear and going,
Yeah. Sorry.
All in
Pumpkin
the
Rappy.
gang. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, next one. Mr. Tickle Sneezer.
No, come on. That can't be real.
What do you think?
Sex toy.
No, that is a Power Rangers villain that looked like a giant
Cheat.
leprechaun. Looked like a giant leprechaun.
Who are these rioters?
Okay, let's try another. That's you 0 for 2. Big's Bunny.
No, that's got to be a sex toy.
That is a sex toy.
Thank come on. Thank God. Redeem myself a bit.
Hot Shot.
No, I'm going to say that's a Power Rangers thing.
Oh, sex toy.
Say, big shot, I
Get ready
guess.
for the hot shot.
Oh, yeah. Go on,
Okay,
next.
Master Stroke.
That could go either way. I'm going to go out on a limb and say it might be a Power Rangers one.
Oh no, that's a sex toy.
God's sake.
It's Blob Goblin.
No, that's Power Rangers.
Power Rangers, correct.
Good, good.
That's yeah. Okay, here we go. All right, you're on the scoreboard. You're on the scoreboard. Goofish.
Goofish.
Yeah, yeah. Goo fish.
Yeah, Power Rangers.
Correct.
Oh, okay. I think I'm 4 and 3 at the moment. Four
Okay,
wrong,
you
three
you are
right.
4 on 3 right. Let's see if we
Yeah,
can. There's three more
yeah.
to go. Three more to go. Blow motion.
Glow motion.
Blow motion.
Nah, that's got to be a sex toy. Come on.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah, if it wasn't, that's very, very wrong. This is Poppin Smith, boy. It's Poppin me reading these.
Okay, turkey jerk.
That sounds crazy enough to be a Power Ranger.
That is a Power Rangers villain. It's a
My
giant
God.
turkey that looks like Darth Vader and
So what?
attacks them with a giant turkey baster.
I love it.
All right, so you're correct for 5, wrong for 4. Last
Okay.
one,
Uh-huh.
headmaster.
Yeah, that sounds like a Power Ranger one.
It's a sex toy.
A sex toy called Headmaster. Oh, okay. All right.
Think
What does
about
that
it.
work at? Oh, yeah. Got it.
Oh, yeah.
Got it.
That's 5 and 5. And I
Oh,
have
okay. Didn't do too bad.
a few more. I've got a few more if you want me to keep going.
But it's in the sex toys or the Power Rangers one.
No, I've got 2 more sex toys and 2 more Power Rangers.
Go on, just read them out.
Ice Lady,
Ice Lady, Power Ranger.
sex toy.
Okay.
Chunky Chicken,
Sex toy.
Power Ranger.
Jesus. Yeah.
Mantrick,
Power Ranger.
sex toy. And Crab. I've got 2 more here. Purse Head.
Purse head.
Yeah.
That's got to be a sex toy.
No, that's Power Ranger.
Oh
Has
my
a giant
God.
purse for a head.
My God. It's like that meme
And
I sent you earlier.
the final one, which I didn't use, was Krabby Cabby, which is a taxi driving crab.
That
Attacks
is
the
a.
Power Rangers for some reason.
See, there was me hoping you were going to say Rita Repulsa or Zed or something like that. Oh, yeah, it's
No,
easy. No, no, no.
no, 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 no.
Right.
There you go.
There you go. Well, that was fun. That shows you I know nothing about sex toys or Power Rangers.
I don't know if that's good or bad. It's probably good.
Yeah, yeah.
If
Can
you'd known
you
too
imagine
much, I'd have called
if
you
I
a
knew
dirty
all of the sex?
bastard.
Yeah, I knew all the sex toys.
Just like get a cupboard open. Like, hold on a minute. Let me have a look. Yeah,
Yeah,
Ice Lady. Oh
rubbish.
yeah, that's in there.
I've
Yeah,
got
got the Ice
it.
Lady.
Yeah,
Got the Ice Lady 3000.
yeah. I got the turkey based. Oh no, that was the Power Ranger one. Yeah,
That could be both.
yeah, it could be both. Right then. So, Power Rangers the movie. How old were we when we first saw, heard, read about this? So, I mean, it was everywhere when we were kids, wasn't it? Power Rangers.
Power
It
Rangers was
exploded.
everywhere.
Yeah, exploded like 1993, and it was just everywhere. I mean, the toys. I'll give that. The toys were awesome, but I never had them. But I've played with them around other people's houses, and they were really cool. Especially the Megazord when you connected it all together, and it
Yeah,
that
yeah,
that
yeah,
was that was way cool. Or the Power Rangers where they were unmasked, and you press the button, and they flip around, and then there was
yeah, yeah.
something wearing masks. That was cool. But yeah, in terms of the TV show, would have been like 1993. This came out in 1995. I didn't
Mhm.
see it at the cinema, if I recall. I believe I saw it on Sky. So I would have watched that 1996. So I would have been about 11 or 12, probably, yeah, probably 11. I don't think I was quite 12 when I watched that. And I watched it on TV. And what about you? Because was you a Power Ranger fan, like the TV show?
So, mm, not really. I'd watch it if it was on, but never all the way through. It wasn't appointment viewing. It wasn't the kind of thing I was
Yeah,
like, oh, Power Rangers, I've got to watch Power Rangers. No, if it was on, I'd watch it for a bit. Usually, I'd get quite bored after about 10 minutes or so,
yeah, me too.
and then wander off and do something else. But I enjoyed the toys, and I had some of the toys. I had some of those ones with the flippy heads. I had a couple of the Zords. I didn't have the whole like big putting them
Yeah,
all together thing, but a friend of mine did. And I saw the film at the cinema
Yeah, okay.
because, well, I've always liked, as this podcast can attest, movies, and I'd always go and see a movie like so. The idea of something that I sort of vaguely enjoy, but like, bright, loud,
Hmm.
shiny on the big screen. I'm a 10-year-old boy. Sounds right up my alley. My poor, poor grandfather.
Oh, he took you to see it. You
Yeah,
monster.
I
Why
know,
would you
I
make
know,
your
I know.
grandfather take you to
Look,
see that?
no spoilers, but I feel kind of bad about that.
Uh, I love the Empire review of this. It's 2 out of 5, and obviously the review is when it first came out. It said, take this along for the kids and switch off." That was basically the review. It's like, yeah,
I mean,
accurate.
yeah, fair. Just do something else. Read a book. Um, well, as I was saying to you before we start recording, there's a review from Roger Ebert that came out about the time, which says this is the closest you can get to nothing while still having something on screen.
Again, accurate. But you know what? The trailer is embedded in my head. I remember the whole the shampoo song. Uh-oh,
Oh,
we're in trouble. And I remember like the bit where it's like it's
oh.
morphin time. They all fly up into the Zords. That was playing. I was like, my God, that's all coming back to me now. I remember all of that. It's insane.
Yeah,
So you saw it in the cinema,
yes, I
and
did, and
then
I got it on VHS for Christmas when it was released because I remember having the proper kind of hard case copy of this when I was a young man.
actually, yeah, I remember seeing that in your video collection when I first come over
Yep.
your house, and I'm like, ugh, you like Power Rangers? All right, okay. Cool. All right. So you would have watched it at the cinema and got it video for Christmas. I
Hmm.
saw it on Christmas. No, I didn't see it on Christmas. Sorry. I saw it on Sky a couple of years later when it first came out, but not sure I watched it all the way through. But there'll be bits when we get to this. It's like, yeah, I remember that scene. I remember that scene. I remember that scene. So
Yeah,
maybe
yeah.
I have watched it all the way through and I just blanked it out. Who knows?
I remembered quite a lot of it as we were going through, but there were huge swathes that I was like, "What is this?
Yeah,
What is happening?"
quite right. So, I mean, there's not much plot to talk about, but should we delve into the
But also, too much plot.
not enough and too much at the same time?
I mean,
Right.
just to give an indication, Hannah, my partner, lasted 5 minutes into this before going to bed,
I don't blame.
and her one comment as the text started to crawl up the screen was like, "Why is it going straight up? It's not Star Wars." She went, "Oh,
I'm going to bed then.
it's not a Star Wars, no. So it's not going to go backwards. It's just going to go straight up.
I mean, it wants to be a Star Wars. It isn't a Star Wars.
It's not on anything.
It's even 20th Century Fox, but it's not a Star Wars.
It's not even a Star Wars prequel."
Oh no, it's not. It's yeah. But thankfully, this was on YouTube for free, and there was no adverts. So I was, oh, thank God, so I could just watch it in one sitting. So thanks very much, YouTube. Right then, yeah, 20th Century Fox, and we get a bit of prologue, which massively helped me because it saved me a bit of research for this podcast. So I shall read it. Centuries ago, a legendary interdimensional being known as Zordon came to the city of Angel Grove to establish a command center for his never-ending struggle against evil. With
Let
the
me
aid
pause
of
you right there.
Yep,
Centuries ago, right, a city called Angel Grove. Angel Grove is in America. How many centuries ago did America exist?
yes, quite right.
And how many centuries ago did cities exist as a concept?
Yes, and we'll also learn later on that Ivanus was in prison 6,000 years ago in Angel Grove. How?
How? Also, teenagers, teenagers, or as they were known 6,000 or even 2,000 years ago, old men.
Yes, quite right.
Everyone died before they were 30.
They did. Anyway, back to the prologue. With the aid of his trusted assistant Alpha 5, the noble
Let me stop you right
masters.
there.
Stop! Stop!
Go on.
With the aid of his trusted assistant Alpha 5, the noble master sought out 6 extraordinary teenagers and gave them a power to transform into a superhuman fighting force. In time of great need, the young heroes could use their powers to call upon colossal assault vehicles known as Zords. Okay. The
Or, and
identity
when they say in times of great need, every fucking week.
every week, and it was the same old fucking footage every week. I think that's why I turned it off because every episode was the same. It was getting on my
No,
nerves.
it's not the same footage. It's different, but we'll
No,
get
no,
to
no.
that.
But
But it's the
whatever's
same. It's
happening,
the
yeah,
same. It's the same kind of pacing. It's the
yeah, yeah,
same
yeah, yeah, yeah.
piece. One, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Exactly. The identity of the six remained a guarded secret. Today, that tradition continues. Tradition? It's not like Thanksgiving. Like what? Oh, and then we get
It's the old Power Rangers tradition.
yeah. Better get these decorations out.
Well, it's November 4th, time we christened ourselves with new Power Rangers.
Yeah.
The old
Green
ones are
Ranger,
no
the White
longer
Ranger.
teenagers.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And it's worth noting this film's set in between series 2 and 3, where some of the Power Rangers have been replaced. So the Yellow Ranger has been replaced, the Black Ranger has been replaced, and the Red Ranger has been replaced. I'm not even sure they even bothered explaining that in the TV show.
No, they
Just one
don't.
week, there were people one week, and then there were people another week. Don't think.
They decided that they wanted a bit more money, and the producers went, "Oh no, you don't."
Yeah, yeah. I don't know about you, but I also found it a bit racist that the Black Ranger was black, the Yellow Ranger was
Yeah,
Asian. I'm like,
the fact that the fact that that isn't the case here is, I guess, progress.
Yeah, absolutely. And then we get a tile guard which explodes with the worst looking fireworks I've ever seen. Like there, like there were sparklers or something.
It's like, quickly get MS Paint out.
Bang. Oh God. And then we get this bit's so stupid. We get the Rangers all in coloured coordinated outfits, so we all know who they are. And they're with Skull and
Yeah,
Bulk,
yeah.
who
This closely guarded secret. Well, we're all just going to dress in the colours of our Rangers outfit. I wonder if anyone will be able to work out who we are.
yeah, and the fact these six hang around together all the time, and then the Power Rangers are suddenly six all the time. But yes,
Mm,
they're all wearing like pink and blue and yellow and black and whatever else. And
all
yeah, they're
white,
all white.
blinding white. It'd be caked in shit all the time.
Now remind me again, the White Ranger was also the Green Ranger, wasn't he? And he became the
Yes,
White Ranger.
as I recall, when he turned up as the Green Ranger, he was evil
Oh,
and
okay.
he fought the Power Rangers, and then they brought him round to their side, and he became the White Ranger,
Got it. And when you first,
like
yeah,
a Gandalf situation,
yeah,
but with ninjas.
because the first Power Rangers there was only five of them, weren't there? There was no Green Ranger, and then
Yeah,
yeah,
there was.
then eventually he rejoined them as the White Ranger. Okay,
Yeah, he
got it.
was the cool, mysterious Green Ranger. It's like, oh, but he's a villain. Yeah, that
Okay,
was like
got
the
it.
whole thing of season one.
I knew I could count on you, Smith. Good. Um,
I'm an
yeah,
all-purpose nerd. I know a bit about everything.
you do. And then also in this plane doing the skydive is Skull and Bulk, and I used to hate them in the TV show because whenever they turned up in the TV show, the tune just go do 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 do. I was like, oh, these two are so annoying. Even when I was like 8 or 9, I didn't like the comic relief. Well, who the fuck are these guys? They're just so annoying. But yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
go on.
yeah, the comic relief. I've just put in big inverted commas. They're barely in it though. They're here for this bit, and then they fuck off for the rest of the film.
Yeah, thank God. Yeah, and they're all getting ready at skydive, and then for some reason we hear Seinfeld music. So I was like, ding, 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 ding.
Red
What?
Hot, Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Oh yeah, so it is. But
Um,
initially I was like, oh, it's Seinfeld.
I like this bit where the Bulk and Skull are about to jump out of the plane. She's like, "Hey guys, you might want to put on these," and they're like, "Good idea." It's like, who's running this operation? You were about to let two teenagers, men in their late 30s, jump out of the plane
Yeah, and all of this is for charity, isn't it?
unsupervised.
For
Yeah.
the observatory, and everyone's having a go at it. We're just letting every Tom, Dick, and Harry jump out of this plane. It's like so stupid.
It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense at all. And it's just, I've written down at this point, because they're kind of leaning into that 90s radical stuff. Like, this is going to be exhausting.
Oh, yes, and we've already just begun. Right. So then they land in a park that looks suspiciously like Sydney, and this is the annual.
Yeah. What was that? Angel Grove / Sydney, Australia. I
Yeah.
did put here, like, when they're jumping out of the plane, for a start, the skydiving footage itself is quite cool because it's skydiving and it's like
Mhm,
well filmed.
mhm.
Why they're wearing helmets in the lore of the film. I know why they're wearing helmets in real life is because we can't see their faces and realize that none
Yeah.
of them are actually skydiving. But why would you wear a helmet to jump out of a plane? If you hit the ground, it's gonna do jack shit.
Well, yeah, true.
Might just protect your dental records for easy identification.
Yeah. But also, how the hell are they all talking to each other? Even in the play, goes, "Oh, guys, you forgot this. We'll be out here shit out there." What? What?
You're going, hey guys, radical. This is cool. Yeah, cowabunga and other things. Like there's a lot of that. There's a lot of dialogue in this film all the way through where people just say things.
Yeah, for
It's
no
like
reason.
this person hasn't said anything in a while. He's just going to say something, but it's always just completely asinine and not in any way relating to plot or
No.
character. It's just someone going, "Hey man, yeah, cool, yeah, let's go. Zordon's running out of time," which people
Yeah.
say every 2 minutes.
He's like, "We're fully aware that Zordon is running out of time, but we'll get to it."
Yeah, yeah,
In
yeah,
fact, I haven't actually written down much of the dialogue because it was so shit and nondescript.
I
I don't think I'm
yeah,
going to write this down. This is just
no,
crap.
I didn't write a lot of it down because it's just not there.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
I
yeah,
did write down one line, which I really enjoyed towards the end, but we'll get to that.
we'll get to it. Yep. So yeah, they all land perfectly in a park that looks like Sydney, and then we meet Fred and his dad. And his dad,
Fuck off, Fred.
oh Fred,
You little prick.
Fred's so annoying.
I hated Fred when I was a kid, and I still hate him now.
Is
What
Fred in the
target?
show, or is he just in the film?
No, they just thrown him in for the film because studio
Right.
executives always feel like you need to have kids in films, like for kids' films. And it's like the
Yeah.
same thing they've done with every single fucking Jurassic Park film. It's like there are kids in the first one, it works. Let's just keep putting kids in. No, It's like, no, you're
No,
not going to let a kid get eaten by a dinosaur.
that's all we want.
I just want to see
Yeah,
people get eaten by dinosaurs.
yeah.
Doesn't happen in this either.
No, no dinosaurs.
Oh, there is.
Uh, they just don't eat kids. Right. So yeah, we meet Fred and his dad also took part apparently. And then Fred comes to see Tommy the White Ranger. I was like, all right. And then
His
Bulk and
dad's
Skull.
he's embarrassed by his dad because his dad landed in a car park. It's like, hey, Dad, you're so lame. You landed in a car park. And it's like, fuck off. Your dad jumped out of a plane for charity, you ungrateful little prick.
Yeah, and also if he landed in a car park, he could have killed himself. Like,
Yeah.
ah,
You
I'm
should show some
sorry.
concern for your father. I did read a review of this where it's like, oh, Fred, the kid's got dad problems. Like, does he? I don't get that at all. He
No,
said,
his dad seems
that's
quite a nice
fine.
bloke. Yeah.
Yeah. They're at the annual Jumpathon, the laziest named event in the world.
Like, why does the observatory need a jump-a-thon? Like, is the observatory just making no money whatsoever? I don't know. Whatever. Whatever.
Also, as they land, the announcer gives us all of their names, so
Yeah.
we don't have to remember them.
Yeah. 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 So from what I understand, it's Tommy,
Oh,
Kimberly,
oh,
Aisha, Adam, Rocky,
yeah,
and who the hell am I? Billy.
Billy.
Yeah.
Yes, Billy.
Yeah.
The
Billy looks
one
about
that
40.
they
Yeah.
all look up. They're all in their late 20s. Like, oh,
Yeah.
these teenagers.
Yeah. 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 Oh yeah. Anyway, so back to the plane. Bulk and Skull still haven't jumped out the plane for some reason, but now they do. And then now all the Power Rangers are rollerblading by the Sydney Harbour Bridge. I'm like, why are they doing this? Why? We've just had Skydope. Why are they now rollerblading?
Because it's self-consciously 90s extreme. You've also missed the bit where you find out that Tommy has raised money for the youth centre, so the youth centre. This doesn't come back into it at all.
I
It was
thought it was
just
for
some
the
pointless
observatory. Oh,
the
is it for the
observatory. Sorry,
Utah?
yes, the
Yeah, yeah,
observatory.
yeah.
Observatory. It doesn't come back into it at all. It's got no point. It's got nothing to do with anything.
Yeah.
And also he says the word man about 5 times in the space of a minute. He's like, oh, thanks, man. Yeah, it's cool, man. He's like, you say the observatory. Yeah. He's not fussed. And I don't know if that's because his character's meant to be cool or because he can't act.
A bit of both, I'd say.
I think it's a bit about... Also, why is this child hanging out with this grown man? If I was his dad, I'd be like, yeah, you can stay away from him, Tommy.
Yeah.
I'm getting strong nonce vibes off of you, mate, with that ponytail and that all white outfit.
I mean, throughout this film, there's bits where there's strong non-vibes, but we'll get there. But yeah, like this is when I really smelt a rat that Angel Grove was Sydney. When we went past the Sydney Harbour Bridge, I went, no, hang on a minute. It's not that Angel Grove.
And I said that, you're like, why is the Sydney Harbour Bridge in America? I was like,
Yeah.
this ain't America.
Be deceived.
Also, they're playing the song Free Ride, which was in the film Dazed and Confused. It's like, it's the first time it does it, it was like, don't make me think of better films that I could be watching.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, it will do that again in this film as well. Yeah.
Oh,
Then
there's one where I'm like, you.
yeah, I know. It's probably the same one I'm thinking of. Yeah, 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 yeah. And then Bulk and Skull arrive at a dig site for some reason. They start trying to be pretending to be superiors, and somehow this shit works. This always happens in movies. Like, oh, I'm this person. You should get back to work right now. It's like, look, these people aren't stupid. They're really not stupid. They're not going to fall for this.
Theoretically, you man in his late 20s are supposed to be teenagers.
Yeah.
And you're slovenly, idiot-looking teenagers. Although those people are meant to be terrible at skydiving. That is a textbook straight down landing,
Yeah, and also,
and the parachute seems to disappear completely as well. Doesn't sort of follow them.
and I mean, I've never done a sky jump or parachute, whatever, but aren't you, if you're a real beginner, aren't you supposed to have somebody on your back and they guide you
Well,
down?
that's what I
Don't
mean.
you-
When
Yeah.
they go out of that plane, they're like freewheeling and like it's
Yeah.
like, who's letting this operation go ahead? Is this how they thin out the teenagers in Angel Grove every year, the
Yeah.
annual jumpathon? Any
Yeah,
teenager stupid enough to jump out of a plane without an instructor deserves what they get.
exactly. But as long as you've raised some money, it's fine. Right. So back at the dig, the diggers have discovered some sort of sewer thing with a symbol on it, which they open with great ease, and then
What
smoke
the hell is
comes
this?
out of it.
Man, I'll cover.
Yeah, well, let's open it. Why? And then a giant fucking purple Easter egg on a hand is inside, and it starts emitting purple electricity. I'm like, what is? I'm sorry, you've lost me already. I'm sorry, movie. I'm sorry, no. What
I'm
is
sitting there
this?
thinking, unless that's the gobbledygooker, I'm
Yeah.
going to be real disappointed.
Spoiler, it's not the gobbledygooker.
It's not Hector Guerrero.
No, it is not. Then we get back to rollerblading, and then the team are summoned to the control center by Alpha 5. Now, I fucking hated Alpha 5 when I was a kid. It pissed me off even when I was a kid.
I love the fact that they get called like, oh, hey, and they stop, look around, very suspicious. They go, let's go over here. It's like, oh, these 6 people in color-coded outfits just going over there to secretly take a phone call and then disappear from the spot. I wonder who these mysterious Power Rangers could be.
Yeah, they're supposed to be secret.
See how
identities,
they
but it's never really discussed, is it? Like even Bulk and Skull don't know who they are, I don't think. It's just,
Yeah, no one knows that they're the Power Rangers, just that they mysteriously disappear every time six costumed heroes wearing the same color clothes as them turn up.
yeah.
And everybody loves the Power Rangers when they're just themselves. Everybody loves them, despite the fact that they don't know they're the Power Rangers. So what you meant to believe that these teens are just like heroes of the local community for question mark reasons.
I believe so, yes. Ugh, horrid.
Works on TV in 20-minute chunks. Don't work in a movie.
I don't know. I don't know. Why does this movie exist? I don't know. Probably because it was massively popular. They were capitalizing on it. But anyway, right. We learned that a massive surge of evil energy has been
Yeah,
detected.
yeah, that'll do.
Yeah, that though.
There's a lot of that in this film. Like, nah, do. There should be evil energy. Fuck it. Yeah, why not?
Why not? And then Zordon gives exposition on Ivan Ooze and how he's loose after 6,000 years. I'm like, all right, okay, fine. Ivan Ooze is your villain, and he's now free. Okay,
Zordon, when he's in his tube form, he's got a really piggy nose.
yeah.
He's
Uh,
really like weird looking.
Have you got any trivia, speaking of that, about Zordon, the guy who played him?
No, I don't.
Okay, because apparently the guy who played him, David Fielding, he filmed only about half an hour of scenes for the entire TV series, which they rehashed in every single series. And he's the one who's remembered the most. Like he came in, just went a bit like like that, and then they just like dubbed his voice. I mean, for this, they might have actually got him to say a few more lines, but for the TV show, he literally came in half an hour, filmed some shit, and that's it. They just kept rehashing the same footage over and over again.
Brilliant.
Amazing. Right, we learn that two dudes are guarding the egg, which starts giving out red energy. I'm like, you've
You
just
missed the
found.
line with you missed the line with Zordon where he's like, it's evil beyond imagination. It's like, I fucking somehow doubt
Yeah. Especially when we meet Ivan, who's up, right? Yeah, they found this intergalactic alien egg, and just two average Joe security guards are watching it. They've not called the FBI, they've not called NASA, they've not called guys from Area
the
51.
army.
Just two random dudes are just guarding it.
But they put a cordon around it.
Oh yes, that's fine. That's fine.
Sorry, in this film it'd be a cordon.
Yes, a cordon. Right, and then we get Rita Repulsa and her
Ugh.
army, including Lord Zed, Goldar, and Mordant, and they start making egg puns. And I'm like, I found Rita Repulsa fucking annoying in the TV show as well. I was like,
Oh
why do
yeah,
they
she
keep dubbing what
shouts
she's
all of her
saying?
lines. She just shouts all of her lines as well. It's like, it's like, oh good God, oh good
Yeah,
God.
yeah, it cut through me even as a kid. I always
It's
found her
kind of weird
annoying.
this as well because like Mordant wasn't in the show as far as
Yeah.
I'm aware. There was another two that they didn't use in this, I think, to save a
Hmm.
bit of money. Goldar was, but in this film looks weirdly short.
Yeah.
Looks about
Is he?
5 foot nothing.
He's the pig, isn't he, Goldar?
No, he's the blue.
Oh yeah,
Um,
okay, yeah, I got it.
and then Zed was not in the first series. I think came in the second
Hmm.
series.
Yep.
He looks weirdly fat in this film.
Might not be the same actor.
Just put a fat bloke in a suit.
Yeah, he's like that'll do. That'll do.
Although I like the
Uh,
way that his brain moves when he's talking.
yeah, that's kind of cool.
Got a bit pulses around. It's quite cool.
Yeah, that's cool. He did look cool. Real Pulse looks ridiculous, and so do the other two. But yeah, he looks cool. Yeah, Lord Zed knocks the guards out and then proclaims after 2,000 years of searching, he's found Ivan Ooze. And then he opens the egg with some electricity. I was like, 2,000 years? How have people just uncovered the sewer, just digging, and for 2,000 years you haven't found this? Where have you been looking?
Yeah. Right. Also, you spend all of your time exclusively when you're on Earth in Angel Grove. It's conveniently in Angel Grove.
Yeah.
You didn't just like have a look underground for a bit. You just kind of standing on the surface going, well, that's another 1,000 years of looking. I can't see nothing.
None of this, mate. And it never explains why Lord Zed was looking for Ivan Ooze. It was like, why? Why were you looking for him? For what?
Don't look for explanations. It's a fool who goes looking for the logic in the chambers of this movie.
Yeah.
The egg is full of the goo from Ghostbusters 2.
Oh, there's a lot of that. There's a lot of Ghostbusters 2 ripped off. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
and it Rita starts touching all this jizz inside, and then terrible CGI moves into Ivan Ooze. And I'm like, and he's like, the ooze is back. I'm like, oh,
That's a terrible line. Terrible, terrible line. He reminded me a bit of Grandpa Munster.
yes. Yeah, I see that. Yeah, I see that. It wasn't him, but yeah.
No,
And
I
then,
know it wasn't him. It was Paul Freeman who played Belloc in Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark.
yeah,
A proper actor. He was in Hot Fuzz.
he was in Hot Fuzz. Yeah, yeah. And now he's in this
Oh.
garbage. Right. And then, yeah, right. So Lord Zed is pleased to meet him, and they discuss Zordon, which starts upsetting Ooze. And then Lord Zed leaves with his gang, and then Ooze says he can smell teenagers. And I'm like, nonce vibes.
not fights.
You,
Teenagers. But also, again, what he means is people in their late 20s.
yeah.
Also, it's said and pretty much, we shall leave you to weave your evil ways, and off they fuck. It's like, all right, we've got the plot moving, let's go.
Hang on, you've been searching for this dude for 2,000 years. You're really happy. Like, oh, you're right, mate. Okay, I'm gonna go now.
Do you need us for anything? Because 2,000 years searching, quite anacron. Do the lie down. I tell you what, Ivan Ooze in this, Paul Freeman, is the best thing in this film by a country mile. I
Really?
enjoyed every scene that he was in because I think he knows what film he's in. He's overacting very wildly, but he's having a great time, and he can actually act. Unlike everybody else in this fucking film, he
That's true.
knows how to actually deliver a line in the way it is intended to be delivered.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, it's kind of what I said about McDagger in RoboCop 3. It's just like, yeah, he knows what he's in, but he's probably the best thing in it. But yeah,
Yeah, which I disagreed on, but
whatever. Cool. And then the Rangers have been transported to that building site and they discover the open egg. And then for some reason, Ooze has disguised himself as an Australian security guard. And then immediately reveals himself as Ivan Ooze. I'm like, why?
yeah, to
Why?
like 2 minutes. Why did he do that? To prove that to show that he could in a thing that he doesn't use again.
Ever.
He doesn't do it again. So what was the point of any of it?
And there is some truly fucking awful dialogue here, like, ew, oh, gross. I'm gonna send you back from where you came from and all that. Like, oh no, no, stop, please. And then yeah, Ooze summons a bunch of minions, and then Q Power Rangers fighting shit without outfits, and then Ivan Ooze disappears. I'm like, what is going on? What is going on?
He's got the welcome to my nightmare line, which was quite kind of very Freddy Krueger-esque.
Yeah, but then starts fighting back at you. Welcome to my nightmare. I was like, what the
He's like,
fuck?
no, it doesn't work. It doesn't work, Tommy. It doesn't work. Um, this is during this fight scene, and the fight scenes are competent,
Yeah,
but too long because they
fuzz
don't
it off.
half go on. I fast forwarded through some of it. I was like, fuck this. The song that plays over this one is
Action boy now, action girl now.
action boy now, action girl now. What the fuck is this? Oh, the quips don't make any sense. There's a bit where the Yellow Ranger, in one of her like 6 lines of dialogue, pulls two of them in together. He goes, "Kiss and make up." Is that what? What's that? What are you talking about? What's happening? What's happening?
I can't
And then
remember.
Billy goes, "You ooze, you lose." Like,
Yeah, I've
ah,
written that
that
down.
that
Yeah.
kind of works. That one works. All right, fine. You can have that one. But like, you're right. Tommy going, "Welcome to my nightmares." Like, it's not as clever as you think it is.
No, no, that would work in a Nightmare on Elm Street when someone gets their revenge back on Freddy, but no, this doesn't work at all. No, terrible.
It's also this part of the film which posits that backflipping is the quickest way to get from A to B.
I've also written that instead of running, the kids are back flipping everywhere.
Backflipping away. I mean, to be fair, if I could, I would.
Well, yeah, obviously.
If I could backflip without hurting myself, I'd be backflipping through my office at work. Like, hi everyone, morning. I've got coffee everywhere.
What would you prefer, backflipping everywhere or moonwalking everywhere?
Backflipping, I feel, would be quicker.
Backflipping might be a bit impractical. There's a low ceiling. Though. Ah! You can moonwalk into a room.
Got backflip onto the train.
Yeah, literally on top of the train. Um, right, the kids regroup. They have decided it's time to become the Power Rangers in suits because they're outmatched. And it's morphin time, and they're all pissed about going this thing.
Get on with it. At this point, the purple putty patrol people could have just killed them. But they're standing there going, Falcon, or whatever it is.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Triceratops and all that sort of thing. And then Go Power Rangers.
You!
Yeah, I did think of that. Jim Pokemon. And then once they've done all that, for some reason, all those minions have just disappeared. I'm like, but why? Why have they just disappeared? You just went through all that farce of turning into the Power Rangers, and now they're gone.
They're also like, where are they? I don't know. Perhaps over here. Yeah, where all the creepy purple light is. Yeah, probably gone over there, haven't they?
That's full of it.
Let's check it out. Yeah, all right. Okay, now.
So back at the command center, Ivan Ooze enters and starts giving Zordon an Alpha 5 load of shit. And I'm like, the ooze coming through the door is very Ghostbusters 2. It's very, very Ghostbusters 2.
Yeah, there's a lot of that.
Yeah, and then he's going on about 6,000 years and all the stuff he's missed, including like the Brady Bunch reunion. I was like, wait, what? Like, doesn't make any sense, but okay,
That
fine.
was ad-libbed, apparently, that line. He
Yeah,
ad-libbed that.
yeah.
But it's funny. Like, I get it. Like, it's he's clearly enjoying himself. It's the best thing in the fucking film. Like, he zaps Alpha 5, which we all wanted. There's also a bit of Zordon's like, you won't get away with this ooze. It's like, get away with what? What's his plan? What's
See,
he
I've
trying to
never.
achieve? We don't know what he's trying to achieve at this point. What are they trying to stop him from doing? Just not being in an egg.
Yeah, if he's in that egg, it's safe. It's fine.
6,000 years as well. I don't know what he did, but fucking hell, 6,000 years, that's a long old sentence.
That's what he said. He went, it's boring. But yeah. And then he says, "Oh, it's time to pay the piper," and starts playing his pipe for some reason, and then starts fucking up the command center with a load of purple electricity. I'm like, okay, but we don't really see until late what the aftermath is of all that. The Rangers are still looking for those minions who are there, and then the Yellow Ranger activates a lamp on her head to find the enemies. I'm like, or a torch.
That's all she's. That is literally her one thing in this. I was thinking about this. We get towards the end of the film. It's like, right, the White Ranger has the most to do,
Yeah.
sort of, right? None of them really have anything to do. They
Mm-mm.
act as sort of like a unit. They kind of walk around, and every time
Yeah.
they move in their costumes, whenever they move their hand, it goes.
Yeah,
Like, there's
exactly.
hey, let's go over there.
Yep. Yep. There's a
So
lot
you
of
can hear one having a wank a mile off.
that. What are you doing, Tommy? Nothing.
Do,
Yeah.
do, 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 do. Um, like the Pink Ranger has the second most amount to do because they're clearly the leads. They're clearly
Yeah.
the ones and the ones that have. The Blue Ranger, despite the fact he's also in the show, has jack shit all to do in this film.
Yep.
The Yellow Ranger has a light on her head,
Hmm.
and the red and black ones are also there.
They are. But the Red Ranger does have predator vision to find the enemies. Oh, this is cool. Okay. It's never used again. It's never
No, no,
used again.
none of it's ever used again. None of it's ever used. Also, the Pink Ranger has a pterodactyl thunder whip, whatever the fuck that is.
Yeah, because there's a bit coming up where she goes like, "Have a nice trip," where she like trips someone over. Oh dear. Then cue more choreographed fighting to the sound of pinball when everyone's getting knocked down. I'm like, oh, just no, stop. And also, I thought, why did these enemies look like they're wearing Michael Myers masks? It looked like they got a load of Michael Myers masks and put like wigs on them. Like, yeah, that though.
Very lazy.
Very, very lazy. Some truly terrible stunt work going on. People flying around, defying the laws of physics, exploding into jizz when they hit things. It's like, oh, none of this is good. None of this is good. Again,
It's
what
the
is it with
point.
all the backflips and fist bumping stuff? I'm like, yeah, yeah, every time.
Yeah, I think it's probably because that's what they did in the original Japanese footage. So they're
Right.
trying to match it because, as everyone knows, the original Power Rangers stuff on TV, the bit where they're the Power Rangers isn't filmed
Yeah.
with the American cast. It's Japanese. It's a show called Super Sentai and various other little bits of other shows dotted around.
Mm.
So all the stuff with the American cast is cut in between. This is the first thing where they'd filmed bits with the American cast. So it's like the first proper like self-filmed, like properly purpose-filmed footage
Yeah.
for this kind of thing. But they had to have to match it off, and it's kind of weird. This because it's the point I was watching it as the fight scene went on for ages and ages and ages and ages. It had that weird cartoon effect where they kick the guy in the head. It's like,
Oh
is
yeah.
this self-aware? Does it know it's shit? And I can't work it out. I think Paul Freeman knows it's shit, and that's why he's having a great time. Because if this was just a cash grab, they'd have done what they did for the sequel to
Mm.
this and what they've done with countless other kids shows that they've made into films and just cobbled together 3 episodes of the show.
Yeah.
They just like stick 3 episodes together, maybe film one scene to link them, and that'd be the end of it, right? But it isn't that.
No.
And it's almost like they've done so much, like they've thrown so much shit at the wall to see what will stick with this. But they don't bother with any character development.
None.
They don't bother with any real plot. They don't bother with any jeopardy. They don't bother with any sort of risk. Like everything is just quite generic.
Hmm.
And one scene leads to the next in the most workmanlike way possible without any interest or development happening between the beginning and the end.
Yeah.
They literally go from where they start to where they end without changing one little bit, apart from very briefly losing their powers and then immediately getting them back again.
Yeah. Yeah. So it might as well have been just 3 episodes cobbled together because
Yeah.
yeah, because you don't get that big feel. You know, when they have made a
No,
big screen adaptation from a TV show, you're like, oh, okay, cool, this is great. But no,
there's no
you don't get
scope.
the no, none
There's
at
no
all.
scope. There's no, even if you like, when you have a finale that takes place in space, you have an ancient evil that's like, but it's all just like, egg pops up and it's filmed as flatly as it can possibly be filmed. The lighting
Hmm.
is as flat as it possibly could be. They occasionally, especially in these scenes with the Power Rangers fighting the ooze monsters, sort of tip into um like cartoony aesthetic with like the neon and like the
Yeah,
bright
yeah,
lighting, but it's still so flat. Like it's,
yeah.
you can't get away from that. They're having this great big fight on a construction site.
Uh-huh.
It's a construction site, right?
Yeah,
It's filmed in places that were available around Sydney for them to film in. There's nothing feels bar Zed's throne room or Rita Repulsa's throne room, whatever it is, maybe the command center, and that's about it in terms of things. Or maybe the fight sequence a bit later on where they feel like a bit upset. Everything else just feels like it's just there. They're just pointing the camera at it and gone, "You 5, 6 teens, people in their 20s that can't act, just go and stand over there."
Yeah, no,
Occasionally
totally.
let Fred say something and see if he can string a coherent sentence together. He can't.
He can't. And it just feels cheap. It's like $15 million or whatever this budget was. Like, what did you spend this on? Like, honestly, just, yeah, feels
Yeah,
cheap.
that I can't work out 'cause you're not paying the actors.
No,
They
certainly
no one's
not.
getting paid a lot for this.
The dodgy CGI
Maybe
later on, maybe. I don't know.
maybe Paul Freeman managed to get a decent whack out of it.
Who knows?
Probably, yeah, probably not. Yeah. Anyway,
We digress. Anyway, the White Ranger uses his magic sword, which instead of like cutting, it uses a laser beam to cut off a unit that falls on all the enemies. I'm like, wait,
yeah.
what? What?
It's a fucking sword.
Why don't you just chop them all in half?
Yeah, you're quite clearly killing them by throwing them into walls and they splat into like goo. Why
Yeah.
don't any of you people have guns?
You shoot someone in the head.
It's just Red Ranger just pulls out a sword off John Connor.
I'd much
Go go
prefer that.
Power Rangers.
Yeah. Oh, right. And then suddenly the Power Rangers lose their power and they can't reach Alpha at the command center either. And at the control center, the Rangers are suddenly presumably walk there rather than being
What's that? Put
transported.
that so they can now run to a place they could previously only teleport to. It's like,
Yeah.
oh no, we can't teleport. It's okay. It's just a 5 minute walk away. Go go Power Rangers
Or on their bikes or something.
on their radical roller skates.
Yeah, yeah. And we see that control center's all fucked up inside, and we see Zordon, which I believe is the first time we've ever seen him outside of his like
Mm.
containment unit, and he looks very frank and Skeletor. I put
Yeah,
down.
that's what I've put. It's exactly what I've put.
Yeah.
Um,
Like, oh no, Rangers, my time is coming. Whatever.
he will say a variation of that line now between this and the end of the film. He'll just say
Yeah.
the same thing again and again. And Alpha 5 will go, ay, 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 again and again.
Yes, won't
And
he?
somebody every 2 minutes contractually now has to say, Zordon's time is running out. Don't worry, Zordon.
And also, what really pissed me off, why didn't they just have
Fucking
Zordon
hell.
looking older every time they cut back? Like in Masters of the Universe, the sorceress looked older every time he cut back to her because she's died. We don't get that with Zordon. He's just been lying there the whole time.
He
Film
looks
one
like a dried
scene.
it looks like a dried white dog shit in a tissue.
Yeah. Oh dear. And Zordon's dying because he's out of his time warp or time pull, whatever the fuck it is, or some shit. But all the power,
Ivan
the weapons,
Ooze won very quickly.
yeah, he just came in
He
and
just
fired some lightning about it. Zordon's
punch
like,
you up.
no, don't stop. And then all the power, the weapons, and the Zords have all gone. And then Kimberly is saying, Zordon's been like a father to them. Oh,
Ow. Head in a tube who makes them fight monsters for his pleasure.
doesn't even
What's he
pay
like?
him.
Doesn't even pay him.
Oh my God. And then Alpha explains there may be power that can save Zordon. It's on a distant planet called Thanos.
Oh
And
God.
but all of them that have traveled there have perished, but the kids will agree to go anyway. Oh, we're gonna try.
Why? Maybe don't try it.
Maybe a
Don't
laugh,
do anything.
innit?
It's also like he's like, I'm dying, but you can save him. It's like, oh, good. Well, that's that jeopardy over with.
Like, fuck off, Alpha. You go and save him. What are we
Yeah,
gonna
you
do it? You
useless
don't do
prick.
anything, Alpha. You just like press buttons down again
He
and say,
just
aye, aye.
he press buttons and just says like techno babble bullshit like, oh, if we can just reverse the polarity of the. Oh God.
Yeah, I've written down that. It gives some jargon about it. We can then transport them there. But why can't he just go, right, I'll transport you there right now? And then, yeah. And then
Also, it's literally like this is what I'm saying about the scope thing. There's never any doubt. They never go, well, maybe we shouldn't. Let's talk about this. Like, right, let's go.
yeah, yeah, exactly. We got to try. Many have
Luckily,
perished.
we
Got
have a.
there. That's fine.
That's fine. We'll be all right. Luckily, they've got a Star Trek teleporter. They can just get them straight off.
They do. But as they fly off, it looks like the more you know things.
It's like the rainbow flying through space.
It's so funny. Oh dear. And then back at Rita or Zed's lair or whatever, they're annoyed that Ooze let the Rangers go. I was like, how did she know? Can they see
She
what's
saw
going on?
she saw the rainbow fly past.
The
They're
more you
like,
know. Oh,
oh no.
and then Ooze arrives. Then he says something like, hi, honey, I'm home. Oh, don't. And then he points himself to the new leader. He says the boogeyman is taken over. And he puts Rita and Zed in a snow globe. I was like, hang on a minute. 1 minute Zed was really, really pleased to see him. He was like, you traitor, Ooze. What? Why is he a traitor? What? What?
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get it.
Why did he put him in a snow globe? And that's the last we'll see of Rita and Zed until right at the end of
Yeah.
the movie. Yeah, I thought they were going to be more parts because Rita and Zed are in like the TV show all the time. They're the main villains all
Mm.
the time, aren't they? But yeah,
Well, I think that's why with a film like adaptation, you bring like a proper big villain in. You
yeah,
don't have the same ones you beat every week on TV because otherwise, where's the jeopardy? They
yeah,
then
true.
actually forgot to include any jeopardy.
Yeah, exactly. I'm still even at the end of this film. Like, I'm sorry, what was Uzi's plan? What was he
He
doing?
wanted to take over the world through ooze. I don't quite understand. Is he the ooze or does he create the ooze?
I, I,
If he's the ooze, can't he just take over the world anyway? Like, wouldn't it take very long if it's getting the ocean or something? I don't know.
it
I don't
doesn't make any
know.
sense. Doesn't make any sense. And then the other two henchmen, I can't remember what their names are. What did you say their names were? Morden and who was it?
Goldar.
Golder and Morden. Okay, yeah, they join Ooze as servants, and then Ooze gobs on the floor for some reason, which then turns into the monkeys from the Wizard of Oz, and then they all fly out of the window. He might as well just gone fly back when it is fly. I was waiting for him to say
Also, why are
that.
you getting these birdmen to fly through the vacuum of space? That's not how space works. They're not going to get very far.
It's just so fucking absurd. He gobs on the floor and he turns into an army. What? Oh dear. The more you know, Banner lands on the Australian coast, and they see
I
both.
did say that, yeah. Like, wow, look at this place. Yes, it's the coast. It's a good 20 minutes drive from where you just were.
I've been there. It's very nice.
It looks nice. Looks
Yeah,
like a lovely place to spend a good weekend.
yeah, absolutely. Go surfing there and everything. They see the bones of dead creatures, and as they walk away, old Ben Kenobi's watching them from the top of a cliff. All right,
Also,
okay.
they see the bones of the dead creatures, right? And we later find out that anyone who's tried to get the power has died in their
Yes.
attempt to get the power. But the power is miles away. So this person's just arrived on the beach and died.
Yeah.
This monster's just turned up, had a heart attack, and dropped dead on the beach.
Saw how far away it was. Oh,
Walking? Nah.
nah, it's not for me. Yeah. So yeah, old Ben Kenobi's watching them from a cliff, and then we cut to a power station, and Ooze. Why is he at a power station? Ooze is explaining his master plan on recruiting parents in Angel Grove, making them into zombies, and then they're going to make him dig up his Transformers or some shit. I'm like, what? But so your grand plan is to uncover some ancient metal robot things that are going to smash the Angel Grove up, and you're going to get the parents to do it.
Yeah.
What?
All adults in this film are referred to as parents. They're not individuals in their own right. They're only referred to in relation to their kids. He also, there's a line I quite liked. It was like, "You forget I'm the master of disguise." And one is like, "How could I forget? I never knew."
Yeah, that was funny.
I
Yeah,
was
that
like,
was
"Okay,
funny.
that's quite funny." He then proceeds to roll out a plan which doesn't require him to take on a disguise of any form beyond painting his face a bit white.
Yeah,
He's
put a
proved that he
wizard
can
that on.
transport. he's proved he can. He's proved that he can turn into anyone, and he chooses to just look a bit like Jimmy Savile.
Yeah, yeah. Jimmy's ooze.
Now then, would you like some ooze? No.
Certainly not Jimmy. And also, I wrote this point down low, but I go back. What was the obsession of the 99s with ooze, like gunk, and all this?
I don't
Like
know. I kind of
Nickelodeon
loved it.
loved this, or like Noel's house party when the gunk would get on you, or like you
Yeah,
mentioned the Ghostbusters slime you could buy. Like it
I
was a
had some
real
Ghostbuster
1990s thing,
slime.
wasn't it?
I had some Ghostbuster slime, and I had some Ace Ventura When Nature Calls slime that was like shaped like his face and was like bat poop.
Uh,
I thought as I was looking this up, I was like, I remember having some Ivan's Zuzus when I was younger. I
oh, I'm
looked it up.
sure they sold that.
I looked it up and they didn't, so I didn't have that. I just made it up in my head that I'd had it.
Well, I've
You
written
can
a
get it.
joke
You can
down.
get it now.
Ah, okay, it's not the same. You think that they missed a trick there? They definitely would have
Well,
sold
you
that
will know.
shit.
So they had like a thing that was shaped like his face, and you could inject ooze through it, but they didn't just have the pots of ooze.
They should have. Yeah.
Unless somebody can find something that I couldn't find online, or in terms of that I was right, I actually did have it, and I've not made up that memory, but I couldn't find anything online that suggests they ever sold it.
Well, missed a trick there. Pete would have bought it. Yeah, and he's
I
making that
definitely
ooze.
would have bought it.
Yeah, it's fun. But yeah, he's making ooze with that very cartoon-looking machine. It looks like something out of Nickelodeon. Like, why are the wheels all like yellow and red and really cartoony and fun? Yeah.
That's how power stations work, Stu.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I misunderstood. Uh, back at the Australian coast, Tommy checks if Kimberly is okay because she's upset about Zora. This is the only bit of good character development we get. Are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine. Right, cool. Back to
But
normal.
that's not even good. It was a, "Hey, you okay? I was just thinking about Jordan." She only stopped walking for 2 seconds, and then it's like,
Something was up.
"Okay, on we go." Like that's it. Like you kind of get this thing like, are they meant to be a thing? I
I kept
don't.
asking that. He's always putting his arm around her. I mean, fair. But I'm
Yeah.
like, why? Why is she doing? Oh dear. But oh no, the monkeys are here, and then cue more fighting and being attacked. I'm like, oh. Fucking hell. And then
Oh, there
Billy
goes
tells
for
a
another.
terrible line. You know the funny thing about morphine, you don't miss it till you can't do it anymore. And then as you say, they get like the shit kicked out of him.
I was like, he said that line. I was like, that's not relatable. What are you talking about? That, but how's that a funny? What are you? What is this?
Oh, it's nonsense. And like you said with the fight, it just goes on for ages,
Oh,
doesn't
it
it?
goes on and on and on.
On and on and on. But then suddenly old Ben Kenobi arrives and reveals herself to be Xena Warrior Princess. She,
Put that down.
yeah,
And she's like,
she,
you know Zordon of Eltar. Everyone knows fucking Zordon, apparently.
well, yeah,
He's just a head in a jar. How do
that's all
so many
he is.
people know him?
Top boy he is. Yeah, she uses some twirling weapons that scare off the monkeys, and then she's actually a very British warrior called Dulcia, and she tells them all to fuck off. Go back to where you came from. All right, xenophobia. And then, yeah,
That's very British.
yeah,
That's very British. Did you piss off out where you came from? Out means out. I voted for Frexit.
yeah. And then, yeah, as you said, they explain about Zord and Ivan Ooze. Ivan Ooze is free. And she goes, okay, I'll help you now. I was like, you don't know anything about these kids. Why you just instantly agree to help them?
You know Zordon? Well, that's enough for me. Quick, follow me. In those shorts, gladly.
Yeah, she was rather nice. Zordon's dying again, like,
But this is okay. So this is the point. It's like we have to get in touch with the Rangers. Blah, blah, blah. Maybe we could do this if you know, blah blah blah, whatever it is he says.
yeah.
And never comes to anything. He never makes contact with the Rangers.
No, because then later on, Alpha makes contact with a TV news report instead, and they're like, "Oh, fuck
Yeah,
the Rangers."
yeah, that's it. Like they're trying to make contact with the Rangers, but they never do it.
No, yeah, there's a
Jordan
lot of
never speaks to them again until the end.
yeah,
Very strange.
very
Very
strange.
strange.
And then we get some weird shit now. Ivan Ooze is dressed as a wizard, and he's rhyming to kids. And he's trying to sell that Nickelodeon gunk slime. And Fred is distrusting though for some reason, although the
Oh,
other kids aren't.
he's that fucking 90s kid, that 90s Mary Sue kid who fucking knows it. He just knows the bad guy's bad. Even though everyone else is like, oh, it's fine. He's there going, no, I don't know about you because I'm the cool kid. And he's a prick.
No,
Like a
stop spoiling everyone's
prick.
fun. They want the ooze.
Yeah.
Also, there was a lot of ooze as well. Like there was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, The Secret of the Ooze. It just like
Yeah.
ooze was such a 90s thing. I blame Nickelodeon.
I reckon Ivan Ooze is wanking off into those pots.
Oh, definitely. I've written that down later. Like purple semen. It's just
Yeah, just
ugh. Anyway, Dulcia takes the Rangers to the ancient ruins of the Njeti
on
Temple.
the Ninjetti.
Okay.
On the way there, there's like one of them's like, "Where are you taking us?" She's like, "You shall see soon enough." It's like fucking adult equivalent of, "We there yet? We've been walking for fucking ages."
Why didn't she just say, right, come on, gang, we're going to the Ninjetti Table? Why was
Because I think
secrecy?
with the thing with this, like where she's like where someone's asking, or where you get groups of them, and I don't know who's talking.
No,
I couldn't tell you who's saying what because
no.
all their voices sound exactly the same.
Yep,
Like they are just there is no characterization, not
none,
one bit
none.
amongst them. There's no difference between these characters. It's so shit.
Yeah, there is just no, this is Tommy's thing, this is Kimberly's thing, this, but no, there's none of that.
No, it's the
None of it.
colors. They're the colors.
Yeah, yeah,
And like I always thought when I was younger that Billy was like the tech one, but he wasn't. He just had glasses on.
yeah. So he was a nerd, naturally. So he was the tech one.
Yeah, but he wasn't. He was never portrayed as that much of a nerd. It doesn't. Oh.
Trash. Fucking trash.
And also the
Ah,
red, yellow, and black Ranger do nothing. Nothing.
Nothing. Yeah, over the way is the monolith, and that's the source of all the universe's power, and nobody's ever managed to reach it. But the
Then
Dolce,
how will then how will we? It'll be surprisingly easy.
yeah, they just walk over there. Literally what they do. So Dolce believes in the Rangers, and then to get there, they need to call upon the sacred animals of the Ninjetti. I'm like, what the fuck is this? But, all right, fine.
Pretty
We'll
sure
come
I used to have an Ninjetti brand coffee machine.
That sound like an air fryer as well.
Yeah, you gotta get the old Ninjetti out. It sounds like these Ninjetti animals should all be Italian stereotypes.
Yeah. Oh dear. Who the fuck wrote this? Anyway, Fred's father arrives to the tune of Malcolm in the Middle and then starts fingering that ooze, which then turns him into a zombie. And then presumably every other parent has done exactly the same thing because then you get zombie parents just walking on the street.
I read this. You're telling me that every adult on arriving home immediately opens the ooze their children brought home and stick their fingers in it.
Because why not?
If I brought some ooze home in a pot, my dad wouldn't give a shit. He wouldn't be intrigued by it. He wouldn't touch it. He wouldn't look at it. He'd be like, "How much did that cost?"
If anything, he'd probably just throw it out. No, you
It was.
that.
Get hammered that because it was free. All right. Well, don't get it on a carpet.
Yeah, that's more realistic.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Then Alpha
Oh, is
chooses.
this? Yeah, go on.
No, no, go on, you go.
No, no, go on. Go on. Yeah, I was skipping ahead of it. Go on.
Sure, sure. Alpha tunes in at the telly. It says news reports about missing parents, and then Ivan Ooze is still rhyming, and that starts to upset Zordon. He's like, oh, yeah, the rhyming was getting on my nerves as well, Zordon.
Oh, Ooze's plan is coming together. It's like, what plan? What are you talking about?
He's just given some ooze to some kids. That's all he
Also, he
does.
says the line, "Come down to Ooze City and let's get sticky," which, I mean, that's a plan, certainly.
Yeah, he can smell teenagers. You want the kids to get sticky. Like,
Oh boy.
I'm starting to
Now,
suspect Ivan Ooze is a bit unsavoury.
now then.
Yeah, he might as well just have rings all over his fingers. 3 watches. Right. At the temple, Dolce starts blowing a load of dust, talking about animal spirits and shit, and that turns the Rangers
Oh,
into Mortal Kombat characters with animal logos on them. Like, right, now the Ninjetti Rangers or some shit. I don't know. This is probably a big deal with the TV show. I don't know. And then one by one, she starts telling them they're now animals, but Adam's annoyed because he's now a frog, so she kisses his head, and now he's Atlee. No, I'm a
yeah, but it's
frog.
he's like, yes, like the one you kissed to get a beautiful, had a handsome prince. It's like, yeah, but it's still shit. Talk about it like, like all the others, are like wise, swift, strong, handsome prince.
Yeah.
They can jump.
Yeah, awful. Awful, awful. And then Dolce now tells them that they're on their own because she'll get old if she leaves. And then she now turns it out. And I thought, right, so now she's become the sorceress from He-Man. You've been old Ben Kenobi, you've been the Warrior Princess, and now you're the sorceress from He-Man.
It's just lazy writing to get her shuffled out of the way so she doesn't have to be in the film anymore.
Yeah,
It's just like I can't leave here because reasons.
yeah, I'll turn old. Wait a minute, but you saved them earlier on. But what? Doesn't make
Yeah, and then
sense.
she yeah, turns it down, which just makes everyone feel a bit weird about finding a sexy minister. Oh no, damn it! Now,
Yeah,
it's like Lady Hawk all over again.
yeah, that was not sexy at all. Right,
What?
Fred.
Hmm.
Well,
Hoot hoot, you say?
Fred comes home and sees that Ivan's jizz and his dad are now missing. And then Ivan's having a coffee, watching the parents dig up the Transformers, and he starts making some bloke dance. And I've written down in bold letters, I want this film to end right now. Why is
it,
this bit?
it, was, it goes on for ages. Oh, it's not the last time they do this. Well, they find a joke they like and they drive it into the fucking ground.
Horrendous. Horrendous. The flying monkeys arrive back, and we've learned that they failed. Dolce helped the Rangers, and then Ooze just kills them all. Did they say something like, "Oh, we can go back, you can go quack"? It just explodes
Yeah,
them.
yeah. I mean,
But they weren't
uh,
even ducks. That doesn't make sense. Oh, back at
oh,
the
it's
temp.
it's funny. Yeah, back in the temple, and they go. Thomas like, it's time. Why? Just because we've been hanging around here doing nothing for a good half an hour. It's time moves slowly and weirdly in this film. Like, how long was Tommy away? Sorry, not Tommy. Fred away from that ooze for his dad to go missing for him to come back. Like, what was he doing?
Oh, having a
So it's
piss.
about 2 hours. Been a hell of a dump. Oh, that ooze cuts right through you.
Really does. Oh, then they're walking through the jungle for some reason, and then Fred's looking for his dad at his dig, but his dad's now a zombie. And then Fred sees the ooze and his henchman. Oh yeah, he sees Ivan Ooze and his henchman, and he's in earshot of announcing his grand plan. I put down, well, that was convenient, wasn't it? And he's going,
Yeah.
yeah, so now I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do this. I'm going to say it loud enough so Fred hears. Oh, then back on that planet, Rangers walk through some sort of graveyard. Presumably, all the creatures have perished, and one of them makes reference to a much better film. I'm like, oh,
Yeah. One of them says, "Welcome to Jurassic Park," and I've just written down here, "Don't you fucking dare!
how dare you take those words out of your
How
mouth?
dare you!"
Why? Why did they do that? Why?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's horrendous. And then suddenly the skeletons all come to life and start attacking the Rangers. And then one of them says,
I thought the skeleton that came to life looked pretty good.
it was animatronic, wasn't it? So I
Yeah,
guess
it
that
was
was
pretty
something.
sweet. Yeah.
Yeah, well, but there's a little bit of that. And then one of them, I can't remember who because they're all nondescript. Hey, fossil man, I've got a bone to pick with you. I was like, all right.
Yeah, that's 90s kids dialogue. Yo, fossilhead, I got a bone to pick with you. All right. And then he like pulls a bone out of the back of its neck and the whole thing falls apart. And someone says, "Looks like biology finally worked out for you." Like, sorry, what? Do you think there is a bone in the human skeleton or any animal skeleton that just holds them all together? That if you pull it out, you blah, blah, blah.
Oh, it doesn't. It's not like Jenga.
Yeah, there's not a bone at the back of your neck that if someone plucks it out, you it just crumbles.
Yeah, I used to have a Terminator 2 toy. It was a T-1000. You pressed it and it exploded. Oh, that was cool. Just like that. Right. Back at Ivan's factory, the zombie parents are putting together the Transformers, and the Nickelodeon machine starts churning out Ivan Ooze's merchandise goo. Oh no, but it's not merchandise because you said they didn't sell it. Perfect opportunity. Perfect opportunity.
Perfect.
Ooze then instructs the parents to go to the construction site and kill themselves. Like, fucking hell, it got dark really quick. But luckily, Fred was here again to hear this grand plan, and it's Fred to the rescue. Fuck you, Fred.
It also takes like 2 hours for them to get to the top of the fucking construction site. They got the long way around. They're like, must kill self, but don't really want to. We'll take the long way
Yeah, shuffling ever so slowly.
around.
The ooze goes into the Transformers and brings them to life with purple electricity. And I put again, this is very Ghostbusters 2.
Yeah.
Something they bring the
Your
Statue of Liberty
love
like,
lifting me.
yeah, exactly that. The kids are still walking through that fucking jungle, and they finally come to this place, and they need to get their power
I tell you
back.
what, with this, when they're walking through the jungle, this film, if you take a shot every time someone says Zordon's time's running out, you'd be fucking battered by the
Oh,
end of this film.
yeah, maybe I should have done
It's
that, but
just,
I've had a better time.
it's like they need to remind everyone what the stakes are.
Oh, it's not like, oh, the planet's going to perish or some shit like that. Oh, it's just Zordon, just Zordon.
Zordon will die. We've
Oh,
got these new powers. We don't actually need him, really.
yeah, kind of cool.
We've got now the power of the ninjetti.
Whatever that means. And then Tommy approaches the door, and the statue when it
It's
comes to
like
life. A few more
ninjetti's like
choreographed fighting.
ninjetti's like shit brand like trainers.
Yeah.
I've got my new ninjetti on.
Oh, good for you. And then, yeah, now we get more fucking fighting, but this time they've got ninjetti powers, which don't seem a lot different from Power Rangers powers. But all right,
It's
fine,
all
whatever.
ninjetti powers seem to be is pulling your mask up over your face.
Yeah, very
It's even
Mortal
worse
Kombat.
because it's clear where it's come from. The
Yeah,
Power Ranger suit, they just get this suit on all of a sudden. This, they just pulled their mask up because they're already dressed like ninjas.
yeah. What difference is that, mate? I can't breathe. And then one of the creatures they're fighting falls into a water and dies, and I read down, melting, melting. Oh, what a world. Um, more terrible puns throughout. One of them's like, talk about a splitting headache. Like, oh, please,
You also got like
please.
bits of you also got like unnecessary things like these guys, hey, they're made of rock. These guys are strong. It's like, oh God, oh please say something that means something.
Yeah. And there's just more physics to fighting stuff where people are doing like flying kicks in the air, but they're like multiple kickings, they're like going down diagonally. Like, what is this?
I enjoy the fact that the Red Ranger spends a good solid minute climbing up a rope to then immediately be put into mortal danger because the
Yeah.
bad guy just smacks him immediately.
Oh no, the Red Ranger does that cool split, and the sword almost gets him in the dick, but it doesn't. Like, oh no, like close call, something like that. Shut up.
Shut up. I hope it did get you in the dick.
Yeah, he deserved it. Finally, all the enemies are defeated as one of them flies across the wall. Like, "Ah!" I kind of zip
And then he
out.
says, and then he says, 8 ball corner pocket. What? What's that got to
Maybe.
do with anything? You're not playing pool, you fucking. And nor have you played pool at any point. If you'd shown me Tommy
Exactly.
playing pool earlier in the film and saying 8 ball corner pocket, and then he did it here, I'd be like, okay, I get it. No,
No,
that
I
just
like
someone
that.
wrote that down on a piece of paper. Man, that's a thing someone would say when they kick someone into a wall.
Absolutely. And then he just like bursts into a load of like ash or something. It's like, what? What?
Mm.
What?
Goo and ash.
Go and ash, yeah. The door opens and a pyramid with sacred animals comes out, which shines on the Rangers and unleashes CGI animals. And then, hey presto, the Power Rangers are back with their powers. Oh, good,
Didn't
great.
seem that difficult to get the power.
No, you go to this
They're like
temple and
people
fight
have,
some dudes.
yeah, so people have perished. No one's ever managed to do it. How?
They just
That
shit
seems pretty
fighters.
fucking easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. They're beamed back to the command center as the sorceress watches and flies on away. Right, that's the last we'll see of her. And then the Transformers are now fucking up the city with who's watching on. I'm like, oh, but they're not really. They're just kind of setting cars on fire. So that's what you're doing.
Pew. Yeah,
Yeah,
I rule the world now. I've set this car on fire.
you are nut. Alpha's what Alpha's watching the telly again with Zordon. Elves like Ooze likes the smell of destruction in the evenings. Like, no, please don't. I see what you're doing.
No,
Don't do that.
don't be doing that. Like, also, the news report that they're watching, they're like, Angel Grove has never known this type of destruction before. It's like, yeah, I have every
Every
fucking
week.
week.
Yeah.
I'm surprised anyone even lives there anymore.
There's always giant Transformers smashing shit up, and the city looks fine straight after that fight. He can spell teenagers again. Nonce. And then the Rangers arrive in the fucked up city and see the Transformers, and then the Power Rangers summon their Zords, who all fly in, and hilariously, as the
Oh,
frog comes in, it ribbits. I'm like, oh,
every time that frog ribbit, I piss myself laughing.
so
I got
lame.
this. It's like, hey, we got new Ninja Zords. Let's use them. Cue 2 solid minutes of introducing the names of all their Zords. It's like,
All the time they're doing that, like Uzi's like machine could have just like zapped them, but no, they just let them do all this. Fine. The Rangers all fly into their Zords, and now they need to destroy the Death Star. And then this is when it turns into Star Wars now. And like, this is
yeah, yeah.
ridiculous. Um, Parents are on their way to kill themselves. The kids are having an ooze party to that shampoo.
Oh
Uh-oh, we're
God.
in trouble song. So why
You
is
know,
this song in this film?
I fucking hate that song. I hate it. I hate, and I could feel myself like this whole film. I started watching it, and I don't know about you. I just started feeling embarrassed that I was
Yeah,
watching it,
yeah,
and like embarrassed for people involved in it, embarrassed for myself, embarrassed that I was watching it in front of my girlfriend.
yeah.
I thought, oh God,
How do you think your poor grandfather felt?
he probably went for a sleep. Probably
Yeah,
popping out every 5 seconds to have his pipe.
yeah. It'd be hilarious if he come out and saw you there. Here's some shit.
Sitting there with a pipe, like,
Oh, Fred's here to save the day, tells everyone about Ivan Ooze. They need to save their parents, and they all agree to this for some reason.
this kid's a fucking arsehole. He also delivers his lines terribly. He leaves this
Yeah,
weird pause in the middle of it all. It just stops. Oh God.
yeah. We've said this on another episode. We've just talked about shit kid actors. He's one.
Oh, they've got so much better, but no,
Yeah,
they weren't good here.
no, they were not. The Zords are flying over toy buildings and start firing at the Transformers. And I've put the CGI is just truly awful. Like the Zords in the TV show look better than this. Like
Yeah.
I don't know whether the Japanese show that they nicked the footage for had just much better production values. I don't know.
I don't know because I think the stuff that they did that they nicked it from was like Japanese kaiju stuff, so it's men in suits. This
Mm,
is they've gone, oh, we can use CGI. Let's use CGI. It looks fucking
it
terrible.
does. It looks absolutely awful. Awful. Oh, kids to the rescue, and now they know how to power and maneuver a monorail for some reason. I'm like, what? What? How? How? What? What? None of this makes sense. Uh,
What would your spirit animal Zord be?
Mine,
Yeah.
I don't know, sloth. I like to sleep.
Yeah.
What'd yours be?
Be a red panda. Look, I'm adorable. Don't hurt me.
Yeah, or a tortoise. They're kind of cool. Right,
Yeah. Actually, I would be a fucking tortoise. I look like a goddamn turtle.
you said it, not me.
Just like,
People place things on your back for you to slowly bring it to
oh no,
them.
I've been put on my back and I can't get up. Uh,
And then, oh God, Ivanhoe says something really nonce vibey here. He goes, "Oh, here comes that cute little pink ranger to the rescue." But yeah, you're not wrong. And then his henchman says,
Goldar.
"Oh, you goes says, oh, you think she's cute too?" Huh? I was like, "Yeah, you're also a nonce." Also, where was the other henchman? Because Goldar's standing
No, he
there.
just disappears.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
doesn't make any sense. Like, what?
he's gone.
Did I miss something? Did Ooze kill him? I was like, no, I don't think he did.
No, no, because he pops up again in the mid-credits
Yeah,
scene.
exactly, exactly.
This is a bit where I quite laughed at this line, where Goldar like slaps him on the shoulder. And he goes, "Touch me again, and you'll be chicken wings in the morning."
He sort of very slowly like moves his hand away. Yeah, that was quite funny. Ivan starts firing off purple lightning to stop the Rangers, and his jizz is being thrown everywhere. And the Falcon Zord starts firing off missiles, destroys one of those Transformers. And then Ooze then puts himself into one of those machines to control it. And I've put this CGI is even worse than the Lawnmower Man, if that's
Yeah, yeah,
possible.
it's quite on a par with that. The look of it looks like the Lawnmower Man. It's got that weird head shape that's vaguely head shaped, but not quite.
Yeah, yeah, it's weird. Um, Ooze crashes the monorail track. I'm like, okay, but the Rangers make the Ninjetti Megazord to stop him, but not quite with the Falcon yet. So Tommy flies over in the Falcon Zord to bridge the gap on the monorail, and somehow that works. That's not how.
Yeah, that's not how it works. It goes straight off the rails and then you'd all die. Also, they're like, the track's broken. Oh no, so we'll just stop the fucking thing. You started it.
Yeah, how do
You've
they?
got controls, you fucking idiots. Oh no,
Yeah,
we're gonna die. We just press that button. Oh, but I don't wanna.
you were smart enough to
Maybe
start
I
it up and ride it, but can't stop it.
maybe I want to die.
Yeah.
Now's not the time.
Oh Lord. Right. So the Megazord and Ivan are fighting in the street, and Uzi's beating the absolute shit out of the Megazord. But the Megazord looks a bit crap. Like the Megazord in the TV show looked really good. Like this just looks shit, mainly because it's
Yeah, it looks
CGI.
bad. It's CGI. This looks terrible.
Yeah, and then the Falcon Zord attaches it to complete the Megazord, and then the Bloom Ranger sets a course for outer space, and they
I
fly
know
off.
that. I said the course for outer space. What, straight up? What
Yeah,
do you mean set a course for outer space? It's just
what
over
do they
there.
mean? What does that mean? Ivan follows. At the construction site, the parents are about to top themselves, but the kids are here to stop them. And then for some reason, Fred recruits Skull and Bulk to help him. And I'm like, oh, they're back now, are they? All right, okay.
I put you two named characters. Come with me
Yeah. To do what?
to
Uh,
do something that doesn't work.
no, it doesn't. The Rangers' plan is to lure Ivan into the Orion's comet, which will kill him. I'm like, how do you know that will kill him? How do you know that will kill him?
Have they mentioned Ryan's comet before?
No, they haven't. I thought
Because
that'd
I
be
was reading,
something.
did they? Did I miss something? Because I didn't go back. Because good God, I wasn't going to go back. Um, and I was like, did they? I don't think they brought it up.
Oh, did they bring it up at the Jumpathon? Like they're raising money for the observatory. Did someone in a passing comment just mention Orion's comet or something like? No, I might be
Maybe,
making that up. That's the only thing I can think
maybe.
of.
On.
Hmm. Um, the parents are
Yeah, maybe
almost,
they did.
but they probably didn't. The parents are almost dead despite the kids trying to stop them. Just, just
Yeah,
push them.
you got like four kids holding back a line of about 12 parents, and they're just like,
And then Fred's here with a hose and he sprays everyone with water. What do you think that's going to do apart from
I
annoy
thought,
them a
oh,
bit?
I was like, oh, is the water going to wash the ooze off? No,
No, no,
no,
no,
it just pushes them back a bit more because it doesn't even look that high powered. He's like,
no. Like,
stop
like,
doing that,
like
stop
hose
doing
you'd
that.
water a garden with or something. Yeah.
Yeah,
Um, Back in space, they fly by Rita and Zed in their globe, and they suddenly start cheering on the Power Rangers. What? Um, Ooze and Megazord are fighting in space, and then the Yellow Ranger hits the emergency button, which knees Ooze in the balls. I'm like, so that emergency button triggers a knee-jerking reaction for a moment, just like this.
if you used it any other time, the Megazord would just fall over.
Yeah,
Oh no! Also, why is the comet on fire? That's not how comets work.
no, that's not how it works at all. And
Usually made
then
of ice. It's just the opposite.
And also, I remember you telling me about this years ago. You thought this bit was cool. You're like, oh yeah, right at the end, like Ivan Ooze gets kneed in the balls by the Megazord. Like, all right. I don't think you could have told me about this film. You told me about this bit. Actually, no, you had a habit of doing this with your kids. You always used to tell me how things fucking ended. I was like, I don't want to know. Oh, you know the
But
crying game? Guess what? Oh, you know this? Guess what? Will you stop doing that?
the end of the crying game had balls in it as well.
It did. It did have balls in it. Um, right, that sends him flying in the comet and it blows up. So that's the end of Iron Lose. The parents are all back to normal and Fred thinks he did it. And I put, again, Ghostbusters 2.
Yeah, yeah.
Like when Lewis Tully thinks he got rid of all the slime on the library. It's like, oh, the museum. It's like, oh, for fuck's sake. But Skull and Bulk are happy that, no, Skull and Bulk are happy and Freddy's reunited with his dad. He's like, Dad, oh, I love you, son. Oh, this shit. Um, Back at the command center, Alpha tells him it's too late as Zordon has died, even though we can clearly see him breathing.
Ah,
And then suddenly Tommy remembers that they can all hold hands and remember their spirit animals or some shit, and that will restore Zordon, and it repairs the command center. I was like, what?
yeah, it does,
What?
'cause it does the place up as well. It's like, okay, if you brought Zordon back to life, I'd just about give you poetic license on that one, but why have you done up the command center?
At no point did Dolce
Maybe
say
that's
that's
what,
what will happen.
maybe that's what the frog did.
Maybe.
The frog, a handsome
Frog.
prince and interior decorator.
Oh, that's right. Then we get a celebration at Darling Harbour. Sorry, Angel Grove. And the Rangers. That seafood they're eating look nice. Like, oh
I
yeah,
mean,
the
I was
nice big
thinking, how much
crab and that.
fucking food do they have?
Yeah.
They
What
had
do
a
you
whole big table full of it. And everyone's like, yeah, yeah. And it's like, these guys, as far as you are aware, have not been around for the last couple of days. They're just pissed off
Yep. No
because
one
they're
questions
definitely not the
anything.
Power Rangers.
Oh, certainly not. Certainly not. Fred joins them and he wants to get in on all the glory. And the Rangers say one day he could be a Ranger. Like, oh, maybe the Silver Ranger. Oh, please don't, Fred. Please don't ever join
I
this
don't
team.
want to see, like, no. And they're like, do you think so? I know so, but we're not the Power Rangers. But are you the Power Rangers? Go, maybe, but we're not the Power Rangers.
No, no. I love it. He said, you know, when you're talking about martial arts, always use my head and my heart. Never mind your hands and feet. That's actually what karate is. All right, fine.
But also, when did he teach him that? Off screen. Why is he hanging around with him?
That's why I question was Fred a recurring character in the series, but no, he wasn't.
No.
Right. And then we get fireworks over the harbour saying, thanks, Power Rangers, some epic 80s would be like, pew, pew. And then Bulk and Skull want thanks too. I was like, what did Bulk and Skull do? They just ran
He
off
turned
with
on the
Fred.
water.
So yeah, of course. Credits, and then mid-credit scene where Rita and Zed are freed in the back of the lair. They're annoyed that whatever the fuck his name is, sat in their chair, and that's it. And then we get, uh-oh, we're in trouble.
Oh, and I could not turn it off fucking quickly enough.
No, well, the thing is, the first time I switched off the immediate end. When I watched it the second time, I was like, oh, there's a mid-credit scene. I'd missed it the first time. So there you go. That was Power Rangers the movie. Right, now, you went to see it at the cinema. So
I
you
did.
tell me, what did you love about it or hate about it back then? Probably more love.
Asked me to remember back to when I was 10 years old, which is a hard task. And what I might have loved about this, I would have just literally, I think I would have loved bright colours, ninja. That's it.
Ivan who's getting kneed in the balls.
Yeah, I definitely would have loved Ivan who's getting kneed in the balls. Um, I did, yeah. I think I was just quite easy to please as a 10-year-old in terms of films. Like, just give me a narrative cinema, like a narrative, like a film, and I'm quite happy.
Let's say, even I knew as a kid Power Rangers was garbage, right? And I used to watch a lot of shit when I was younger. But even I wouldn't stoop that low, and I certainly wouldn't make my poor parents take me to the cinema to see that. They would not have forgiven me. But I don't know what it was. There was just something about Power Rangers that just didn't resonate with me. It just looked tacky and shit all the time. Maybe I
Mm.
subconsciously knew the bits were spliced together with other Japanese shows, and it just looked out of
So
place.
I think maybe I like the iconography more than I like the actual thing because I like the
Yeah,
toys and the theme tune was cool,
it was cool.
but I never really sat and watched the show because the second it got into like the fighting, I just got bored. Like it went on for so
Yeah.
long and it was like mid-range martial arts, and I've never been a big martial arts person. I'm not. Some stuff's all right, like yeah, I can't
John
remember
Wick
which
and
one
all that sort of
now.
stuff.
Yeah, stuff like that's fine, but like
Yeah.
Crouch Tiger, Hidden Dragon, I've never got on board with that. So yeah,
Hmm. All right. I did like the Pink Ranger when I was younger. I'll give you
well,
that.
yeah, well,
Right. What did you like anything about it now apart from the Pink Ranger? And
yeah.
oh, you liked Ivan
I
Ooze.
liked Ivan Ooze. I thought every time he was on screen, the film got immediately better because again, he could act and he knew what he was doing and he knew how to deliver those lines in a way that at least was like, if not funny, was amusing and felt of a piece. He felt a little bit like a villain from the 1970s, 60s, 70s Batman show.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd give you
That's the
that.
vibe I got from
Yeah,
him.
okay.
Like I got a big kind of like you'd expect Adam West to appear. Um, at any point and sort of challenge him to a fight or a dance off. Um, you know,
Yeah.
that's the kind of vibe I got from him. I thought he delivered stuff very well. There was the odd joke of his that I think landed, but barely. That would be about it.
Yeah, normally when we do this, I write down what was good about it, what was bad about it. So the good, I put nothing. The bad, I put everything. That was it.
You
I
didn't
did,
even like Ivan Ooze.
no, hated him. There was nothing about this film I liked, and I hated everything about it.
Nothing.
Nothing. I didn't like a single thing about this
Wow.
film. Nothing.
Look, it has no characterization. It's got, as I said at the beginning, far too much plot, far too much plot, and altogether no plot at all.
Hmm.
Um, it's nothing happens of any great importance. It just goes from scene to scene to scene. The comic relief characters aren't funny and disappear after scene one and don't appear again until the
Hmm.
end.
Yep.
The Power Rangers are interchangeable. Like they have no character, no personality, no sense of lives outside of the scene they're in. If that makes sense. Like most things, you get a sense of these people that exist. They've got families, they've got friends, they've got things they do. No, you get no sense of them
None.
doing anything other than skydiving, roller skating, and being Power Rangers. That seems to be the only things that they've got
Yep.
going for them.
Yeah.
It doesn't help that none of them can act. Like they are awful. Like just, and it's fine for 9 o'clock on a Saturday morning to have someone that can read the line with no emotion and no feeling and it go from A to B, and that's fine. But a film, like a big screen film, really shows your limitations if you're not able to deliver some dialogue convincingly.
Yeah. Absolutely. It makes you wonder if they'd have done this from a different angle. If they'd made it like Chip and Dale, the movie, really self-aware, taking the piss out of itself, it could have worked. It could have totally worked. But
Well, I think if they do it now, they would, because they did the one a few years back,
yep,
the 2021,
2017.
2017,
Yeah.
2017, 2017. Yeah, the 2017 one, but they did what they were doing in 2017, which was make it serious or
Mm,
more serious, make it more po-face, make it darker, make it. And I've not seen that film, but I understand from the reviews I read of it that that didn't work either.
yeah.
I mean, you can cast Bryan Cranston as Zordon all you want,
Yeah.
and Elizabeth Banks as Rita Repulsa, but it ain't gonna work.
No, no. Shame. And the thing is, this film has got its defenders. Like people who love Power Rangers and grew up watching this, they're like, oh no, it's
Howdy,
great, it's great.
defenders.
But some people have said, oh no, I went back and revisited. No, it wasn't as good as I remember it as a kid, but I still love it. It's still great. But why? I don't know
There's
if it's like
nothing in it.
I don't know if
The
it's like me
fighting
with
isn't good.
no, no, there's nothing. Like I said, there's nothing good about this. But I mean, I like obviously it was our first episode. I love turtles, right? And I would defend that. I was like, no, it's fun. It's really, really fun. And again, I don't know. I'm just got rose tinted glasses. I'm like, no, 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 it's good, but it really isn't. I don't know.
But no,
But yeah,
I didn't think, as I recall, that Turtles held up
no, you didn't.
particularly well.
Yeah.
But it's got more to it than this.
Yes, definitely.
It's got character development. It's got an arc. It's got plot. I mean, I almost feel like going back to some of the ones we've looked at previously and going, come back, Batman Forever, all is forgiven.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I'd go back and rewatch Turtles again, probably. I think I might do it now just to kind of get this out of my face.
Yeah.
It, there is so little here that makes it a film. Like
Mm.
it runs 90 minutes. It feels longer.
Oh yeah.
Nothing happens.
No, nothing. It feels like episodes cobbled together, like you said
Yeah.
earlier on. It's yeah.
No, it doesn't though. That's the problem. It doesn't feel like that because if it felt like that, it would feel like three small stories in one. It doesn't. It's got one big story, but it's clearly you can feel. Well, I'd say budget limitations, but it cost 15 million.
Yeah. God knows what they spent it on. God knows. But yeah. All right. Well, let's part that now to the inevitable verdict. Smith trivia. What have we got for us?
So Power Rangers the movie released in 1995, directed by Brian Spicer, who's got two other film credits to his name that I could see of any note: McHale's Navy, which starred Tom Arnold and Tim Curry, and For Richer or Poorer, starring Tim Allen and Kirstie Alley, neither of which I have seen.
Mhm.
It was written by Arne Olsen, who's got two notable screenwriting credits to his name: Cop and a Half with
I've
Tom
seen
Selleck.
that. I've seen that. Not Tom Selleck. It's Burt Reynolds, Cop and a Half.
Oh, Tom Selleck,
It's not.
is it not?
No.
Uh-oh.
Cop and a Half is Burt Reynolds, and it's fucking awful film. But we might actually have to
Oh,
cover it one day on this podcast.
okay. I thought it was Tom Selleck.
No, that's Burt Reynolds.
Um, oh, God damn it. All right, and All Dogs Go to Heaven.
Oh God, that was
Two,
depressing for a member.
Charlie's
Oh
New Adventure.
no, no, no.
It was released between the second and third seasons, you previously said. There were two sequels to this film, two film sequels: Turbo, Power
Mm,
Rangers movie,
yeah.
and Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Once and Always, both of which are just cobbled together TV episodes
Got
released.
it.
In terms of Turbo, I believe it actually got a cinema release.
Did it?
God knows. Yeah, God
Mm,
knows
okay.
why. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Once and Always. No. Um, the final crowd scene with the fireworks, people were invited to a Power Rangers fireworks show, so they wouldn't have to pay extras.
That's hilarious.
Um, Here we go. Yeah. So originally they were going to fight rat creatures, but the suits looked too low rent for a movie, so we got the ooze monsters instead.
They look much better.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Paul Freeman playing Ivan Ooze apparently drank blackcurrant juice before each shot to get a purple tongue.
I mean,
Really showed the effort.
I don't even remember his tongue being that purple. But all right, nice,
No,
nice one, Paul.
we've talked about three of the Rangers being let go prior to this one.
Mhm.
Um, they shot versions of the fight scenes without visors because they thought you couldn't get enough of the actual actors. They wanted to show the actors were in the suits. They shot them without the helmets on, but they realised that it looked shit. So they
Right,
reshot them
yeah.
with the helmets on. There are still pictures you can see out there where they also did a lot of reordering at the end. So at the end, apparently they went back and healed Zordon before they fought Ivan Ooze
Oh, okay.
originally, not after. So they've reordered it slightly, which is why some of the dialogue doesn't quite work. But
Mhm.
it's also asinine and terrible that you wouldn't really know.
Yep.
Babu and Squat, who were the original two sidekicks from the TV series alongside Goldar, there used to be three of them, weren't brought back to the film to save money because they only had to pay one to play Mordant rather than two to play the other two. Um, Paul Freeman as Ivan Ooze spent 7 hours in the makeup chair each
Wow.
day to get that makeup on.
That's dedication.
Yeah, 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 yeah. And the only other bit of trivia I have, which is the most exciting bit of trivia I could find on IMDb's trivia page, is that apparently 90% of the lamps in the Megazord displays use tungsten filaments.
Fascinating.
I don't know why it's on movie trivia. Who gives a shit?
People who like
Yeah,
lamps. Well,
that is the only trivia I've got. There was loads of it, but none of it was very interesting, and a lot of it went into Power Rangers mythology, which I do not give a shit about.
yeah. Well, there you go. Cool. So the final verdict, does it hold up?
Oh yeah, yeah, no, it's good. Fuck off.
Yeah. This, I'm going to say, for me, this is the worst film we've covered on this podcast. Honestly, I had a terrible time with this, and I could not fucking wait for it to end. I think I hated this more than RoboCop 3, to be honest with you.
Really? I
Yeah.
can't think what the worst film we've done is. It's probably is this. It's probably artistically, creatively, um, morally bankrupt.
Right. You got to ask
But
yourself, would you ever watch this film again? No. Would you
oh
watch RoboCop 3 again? Yes.
no. Would I be all right with my child watching this? No.
I mean, I wouldn't stop him, but I wouldn't recommend it.
Yeah, I wouldn't stop them, but like I wouldn't like if my kid went up to my Blu-rays and DVD shelf and went, "Oh, what about this one?" I'm like, "Not that one."
I'd question
You,
why you had it in your collection, but yeah, yeah, you're right.
sure, I actually don't. I'd be like, "Where the fuck did that come from?"
Someone's playing a joke on me.
But they're all Power Rangers the movie.
Right then, right then. So, doesn't hold up, clearly.
No, God, no, God,
No,
no.
no, 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 no. Right. So, next episode's nomination. So, it's my turn to choose this time. So, Smith, what if I was to sing this little song for you? Wiki Wow Wow. Wiki Wow Wow.
Wild Wild West.
We are covering Wild Wild West from
Yes,
1999 with old slappy Will Smith himself. So, yeah.
Slappy. Oh, Slappy Will.
So yeah, that'll be all sorts of fun. I mean, I love that song, but yeah, such a banging tune. So we'll see whether the film is also banging. Right.
See, yeah, I mean, okay, I'm willing to bet that it's comes across now better than it did at the time,
I reckon so.
thanks to the recent low quality, big budget cinema releases that have come out in the last few years. What now passes as entertainment will probably make this look like a minor fucking masterpiece.
There you go. There you go.
It won't.
It won't. It won't. But it'd be better. But yeah. Right. Just gonna plug our socials before we get out of here. You can reach us on email at it doesn't hold up podcast at gmail.com or on Instagram at it doesn't hold up podcast. We're on Twitter or X as it's now known at doesn't hold up pod. We're on YouTube at it doesn't hold up podcast. And we are on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and all other good places you listen to podcasts. And remember to give us a good review and keep your suggestions coming. So, Smith, is there anything else you would like to say on Power Rangers before we get out of here and regroup for Wild Wild West?
Yes, I'd just like to say, welcome to my nightmare.
And I would like to say, uh-oh, we're in trouble.